So in this video today I'm going to shift gears a little bit and build a simple planter. Now I'm not really into gardening, but my fiance is, and she has some tomato plants, she has radishes, she has watermelons, cucumbers, and even some pepper, bell pepper, and some jalapeno pepper plants. And right now these things are all over the place. They're in individual pots, and the planter is going to allow for her to put them all into the same spot. So this planter that I'm building is going to be about 6 feet long and about 2 feet wide, so it's going to be pretty big. So what started out as one planter turned into 3. So I've had to build 3 of these things. One was for her mom, and then one is for our front porch. So same design on all 3 of these things, except minus the legs. The big one I put legs on to get it up off the ground, and the little ones will sit, you know, like on a porch railing or something like that. So the materials list for this thing is pretty basic. I mean, I got everything that I needed for these planters at Home Depot. I got 1x6 pine, I got 2x6 pressure treated boards for the bottom of each of the planters, and then I trimmed them out. I already had the angle iron for the legs for the big one, and I didn't put legs on the other one. Then I put down some what I call chicken wire in the base, and then lined the whole thing with a 3.5 mil poly drop cloth. The poly drop cloth, it took me a while to find it. It's in the paint section at Home Depot. So because these are going to be outside, you're going to have to finish them to protect the wood, and this is the finish that we used. It's a Varathane stain and poly all-in-one, right off the shelf from Home Depot. So these things are pretty fun to build. They're not too difficult to build. You can build them with really basic tools that you have in your shop. It's helpful if you have a miter saw, certainly if you're going to trim out the top to cut the 45s. But let's walk through the construction of these things so you can take a look at them. They turned out really nice. So here are the boards for the sides, just 1x6 pine, 6 feet long, and I had to cut 8 of them. Alright, so there's the 2 sides, the long sides, 6-foot sides. Got a nice gap in between each board. Reinforced the brads with screws and left a gap for the 2x4 to go on the bottom. Alright, let's get the sides built and get this thing together. Okay, so here is the planter, almost complete. And I built another one about half the size right here. Alright, so this is the big box trimmed out, and what I did off camera is I took the 1x2s out of there and I put in 2x4s. So that made me have to enlarge the size of the trim. So in other words, I couldn't use the 1x2 trim because I put 2x4s in each corner. So bought some 1x4, which is this, measured it and cut it down on the table saw. I think it was like 2 3/8 of an inch. And there it is. Turned out pretty good. Alright, so here's kind of a before and after shot. So there's all the plants in the various pots. Let me show you where I'm putting the planter. This is where the planter will go, and we'll dress it up around the bottom of it as well. Alright, so that's 6 bags of the big Miracle-Gro planting soil. That's pretty full. Could probably use one more bag, but I think by the time you plant everything in there, it's going to be, you know, all that will displace some dirt, and it should be good. Alright, so here's what it looks like with the plants in them. And we had to, one of the things I didn't anticipate with the angle iron legs is it sunk into the dirt. And once you put the dirt in there, it's really heavy, it's really hard to lift. So we had to get my floor jack that I use for my Jeep out and jack it up, and then we put blocks under it. We'll cover all that up eventually with some pine straw or some mulch. So we got tomato plants on each end. We got some radishes right there, peppers, cucumbers, and then another tomato plant there. So pretty cool. Pretty successful project. Looks really good. So hope you enjoyed the video. These things are, like I said, kind of fun to build and not terribly difficult, and they also are very functional. They serve a purpose and they look nice in your yard or even on your front porch. So if you like the video, you like the content of the channel, hit that subscribe button, and hey, thanks for watching.